Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing the next 5 stages of the Fanhome release of Build the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Are we back? We're back.
So today we're doing stages 27 to 31, and I believe we are going to be doing the radiator and the cooling pipes that go towards the rear of the car, which is where the engine is. I remember the first time round I did this, I thought we were putting the exhaust in. It's not the exhaust at all, it's actually the cooling pipes which have the fluid which goes to the engine. So I got that right this time, which is all cool. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen there that if you scan, it lets the folks from Fanhome know that you've come from the World of Wayne site. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Let's get cracking. So, starting with stage 27, this is the magazine. As you see, we're starting to do the radiator fans, and this is the back of the radiator here, with some mounting brackets. So it's looking like this. We are going to need to bring the car up, or the chassis of what we've been working on at the moment. And there we go, this is a little bit of information in the rest of the magazine. And again, in the next stage, we are doing a bit of the surround for the radiator. So surprisingly, it's not just the radiator in this one. We do have the horn as well. And it's the horn that we're going to be assembling first. So this is what the horn looks like. And we have got a bracket to put in that, which has got a locating lug. So when I put that on there like that, I'm going to be securing it in just with a GP screw. And because of that locating lug, it does make things easier to put in. But we can now mount this to the car. So let's bring up the chassis. Now that looks just like this, if you remember that from last time. Done pretty well with this, haven't we? Okay. So right on the front of the car here, you can see we've got a larger hole just in the middle. That's going to accept that lug there. So when I put this in, it's going to go in just like that. Going to secure this down with an NM screw. And this one is going into metal. So I have put some oil on my screw there. Now move this slightly back, because I want to take this bracket now, which is stamped with an L. And that's actually going to go just on the front here like that. And in a similar way, I've got the one that's actually stamped R, and that's going to go on the other side just there. And these are held in, once again, with those NM screws. So I've just put the right side one in. Let's just get the left side one in as well. Perfect. So that's what's eventually going to mount the radiator. So I don't actually need the car now. I can put that to one side. So this is the surround for the radiator, and these are the fans. We want it to go in this way so that it's looking just like that. These are quite easy to put in, actually. There you go. And again, to hold these into place, I'm going to put them in with some flanged HP screws, which I've just got here. So one there, and just one here. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 28, here's the magazine, and you get the rest of the radiator here, which we're going to piece together, putting the radiator into the surround, and we are actually going to mount this to the car like that. And that here is the rest of the magazine. Excellent. Here's all the parts for stage 28. And this should be quite simple. So we've got this side here, which has got an open side, which we're just going to be taking the flat side here, matching the shape and putting that over the top just like that. And it actually just clips into place like that. Now with the 2 pipe connectors we've got on this side, on my left hand side, I'm going to take the surround and I'm going to be putting this on top this way round just like that. It's going to be held in with FP screws. So now that's one piece there. And then I want to take what we've created last time, which looks just like this, having it this way round, so the bottom of the fan with this section here is pointing towards this bottom just here. Turning it over, it's going to go on that way just like that. Now this is going to be held in with AP screws in these 6 holes. So that's 5 screws in, the last one just goes into the corner here. And now that is a complete radiator shell with the fans on. Bring the car back over, and I want to turn this upside down. And as you can see on the bottom of the radiator here, I've got 2 holes. So this is going to be going on top just like that there. Probably best on this side camera here. Once again, that's going to be held in with FP screws. You want to make sure that's in tight, so I am using my PH1 screwdriver here, and I'm lifting it up as well just to support the radiator so it doesn't bend. But there you go, that's in place. So when I put the car back over, as you can see, that's now in place. That's all there is to do in that stage. Now stage 29, really big pack this one. I don't mean big, there's a lot to do. I mean we've got the floor pan looking like this and a centre plate with lots of metal screws there. So we're going to be putting the floor pan on the car, screwing that down, then putting the metal plate over so it looks just like that. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. Now this is a solid bit of metal which is going to add a lot of weight to the vehicle. I mean, check that out. It's a solid piece of metal. Okay, so let's bring over the car. And the floor pan is actually just going to go underneath here. And it's going to be fitting like that. Now to hold that into place, I'm going to be putting 2 screws through these holes just here. They are DM screws. And I'm using my PH1 screwdriver because you really do want to ensure this is in tight here. Now if I just move that slightly down there, on the top camera you'll see we've got 2 supports here and 2 this side as well that I need to put screws in again. These are DM screws. 2 each side, so I'll get all these in. So that floor pan is going nowhere now. Now all I need to do is gently turn it upside down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a block over this side here so the engine isn't touching the floor here. I don't want to damage the top of that engine because I do have a plate to put in here. And that looks just like this. This is a plastic plate and it's just going to be going in. Oops, let's just get it lined up like that. Now it's actually held in with these BM screws. Now even though this plate has got 4 screw holes in it, we've got 2 at the front here. We're not actually putting anything in these screw holes here at the moment. But with that plate in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. So the penultimate stage of this pack, stage 30, as you see, we've got the cooling pipes here. We're going to be putting these and chasing them round from the radiator all the way under the car. So at the end, it's going to look just like that. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. So I'm going to bring the car back over here. And the first pipe I've got looks just like this. Now that's going to be going in the top of the radiator there. Get that all the way in. And the other side is going to screw just to the chassis there with a JM screw. Now once again I need to turn the car over, so I am going to use my magnetising block here just to stop the engine touching the work surface. Matter of fact, I'm going to have it that way round, so I'm following exactly the same as the instructions here. And I need this pipe looking like that with the flange coming out towards me, which is going to be going in here. So I need to put this underneath this bracket here. So I'm just position that up, and that's going to fit in just like that there. It's actually held in with FP screws in these 2 holes. Well, don't do this too tight, otherwise you'll end up breaking that plastic there. Tight enough just to hold it into place. And that one's 2. Turn this over. I'm just going to move that down, so hopefully you can see it on one of these cameras. But where this pipe is here, I now need to screw this to the chassis on this side just with an AM screw. And then that pipe is completely secured into place. Now I'm going to need this hose here because I'm about to put that in the engine. Now if you look at the pipe we just installed, one end of this pipe is going to be going onto that side of the cooling pipe we just installed. And the other side's just going to go underneath just this pipe here. There is a place for this to go just on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in, show you what it looks like. And there you go. That's in just like that. Perfect. I need to turn the car back over again. And I'm going to continue on from this pipe here by putting this one in. This is just going to be going into here like that. But I'm going to be putting an AP screw in to connect these pipes together. Just like that. Once again, I can turn this back over. And that pipe we've just put in is just going to go into the end of the pipe we put in right at the start here. So I just get that lined up and inserted in here. It is quite a tight fit, so I've put some oil on that, and that helps to get that all the way in like that. Now on the other side, where we've got these two sections here, we've got this pipe to go in. So again, I am just going to dip the ends of these just in some oil, just to help put them into the radiator here. And then the top side of this here is going to be connected to the chassis with a JM screw. That goes in there, nice and tight. And then the last thing to do, once again, going to be turning the car over, because this time we're going to be putting this cooling pipe in from the other side. I really hope when I've been showing you this, I haven't been calling it the exhaust like I did last time. I probably have. I don't know what I say half the time, but there you go. That goes in like that. And again, FP screws. I can assure you these are definitely cooling pipes. And then just like we did last time, the other end of this just needs to be attached to the chassis there with an AM screw. I'm hoping I've gone into enough detail in this one as well. I can sympathise that these can be quite tricky stages, trying to route everything where it goes. And then once again, I can turn the car back over because I've got one more pipe to put in. One end is going to go into the pipe that we've just put in here. It's going to go in there. And then the other end is just going to go into the right water rail here. So I'll get that connected and show you what that looks like. You might have to use a screwdriver just to lever that forward so you can get this side in. But as you can see, both of those are in looking like that. I'm just going to turn it upside down one last time because we do have one last pipe to put in exactly like we did for this one here. That's going to go over the top there, held in with an AP screw, and then flip it back round. So I can then just get this into the end of that one just there. And that is the whole cooling system completed. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage, not much to do in stage 31. We've got these two chassis plates to put in place. And they just go one in one side, one in the other side. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. So in the next pack, we're going to be starting with the battery box and the flux tank. That's going to be pretty cool. Now here are these plates here. They're both plastic. And you remember when I said that's the last time we're going to be turning this upside down? Yeah, we're doing it again. So let's do that. And these plates are going to be following the angle of the cooling pipes here. So this one is going to go this side, just like that. And then the other one will be going the other side. Get that in, just like that there. Now these are all held in with an enormous amount of screws. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 BM screws each side. I've put these in oil, but I don't think you want to see me screwing in 14 screws. So I'll put these in and we'll come back. And there we go. All 14 of those in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Turning it over, that's all there is to do in that pack. So picking the car up, this is what it's looking like at the moment with the cooling system in place with the radiator. And then from the underside, as you can see, that's everything we've done. Pretty impressive, huh? Now, if you want to get this for yourself, once again, I have put a link in the video description. There's a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.